The Biden administration may go down in history as the most brazen constitutional fraud in American history. A Potemkin presidency fronted by a failing puppet with staffers behind the scenes pulling the strings. The Democrats recognized the collapse. They pulled out their knives and took out President Biden like Caesar on the Ides of March. For all of their strutting about, protesting that they support democracy, not a one of them gave a damn about democracy when they pulled Biden off the ballot and dropped Kamala Harris in without a single Democrat primary voter voting for him. Not a single Democrat is here today because not a single one of them gives a damn about the fact that they lied to the American people for 4 years. They knew, every one of them knew, that Joe Biden was mentally not competent to do the job.
Welcome back to Expert Playback. What you just heard from Ted Cruz isn't political theater, it's constitutional crisis. When senators ask who's running the country, and the answer is, I don't know, we've crossed into uncharted territory. The next 8 minutes trace how executive power got outsourced to a machine, and why that should terrify every American.
He was cognitively challenged when he was nominated, when they cleared the nomination field out. They got rid of Buttigieg, they got rid of Elizabeth Warren, they got rid of Sanders. They all disappeared quickly. And then they used this waxen effigy as a veneer. But why? They saw this as a wonderful opportunity. Use Joe Biden and just have him come in 3 days a week, stumble through stuff, and then push through the most left-wing, nihilistic, destructive, socialist agenda in history.
I have been asked literally 1,000 times by Texans, who was running the country? And I'm going to give you the most terrifying answer. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. And not a single Democrat here cares. The most telling proof of Biden's decline came with the signature of the president, the symbol of executive authority that was outsourced to a machine. We see the autopen emerge. The first autopen executive order was issued on July 15th, 2022. After that day, 100% of the executive orders issued in 2022 were signed by an autopen. In 2023, Biden issued 24 executive orders. 16 were auto-penned. In 2024, Biden issued 19. 14 were auto-penned. In 2025, Biden issued 14 executive orders. Every single one was auto-penned. Mr. Wald, let me ask you as a legal matter, if there's a law that's passed both houses of Congress and it goes to the White House, and a staffer auto-pens signing that law, without the president's authorization, is that law legally passed and signed into law?
No.
If an executive order is issued and a staffer auto-pens it without the president's authorization, is that executive order legally binding?
No.
And if a pardon is issued from the President of the United States and a staffer auto-pens it without the president's authorization, is that pardon legally binding?
No.
Cruz just documented 4 years of constitutional fraud, but Victor Davis Hanson asks the deeper question, why risk everything on a failing candidate? Why gamble an entire presidency when everyone knew Biden was cognitively declining? The answer isn't incompetence, it's strategy. This wasn't accident, it was orchestrated. Here's why the cover-up was worth the cost.
Under the Biden White House, the ceremonial song, Hail to the Chief, was effectively replaced with Hail to the Pen. And it was an outright assault on democracy. And every reporter covering this ought to ask, why doesn't a Democrat care?
He stopped the congressionally approved wall. The result was 12 million people came in. They entered illegal, they resided illegally, and we've had 500,000 of them suspected of criminal backgrounds, and almost every day there is a murder or rape. But here's the question. Everybody knows he did it, but nobody asks, why did he do it? Why do all these reporters say now, we were in on the deal, we covered up for Biden, the Biden staff did it, no, the media did it, but they all agree that he was non compos mentis. This is what Barack Obama said when he wanted a third term, and he could phone in a left-wing agenda from his basement without appearing in public.
Let's scorecard this constitutional nightmare. A rubber stamp auto pen signs trillion-dollar spending, troop deployments, even nuclear protocols. No presidential review, no constitutional oversight, just mechanical signatures on world-changing decisions. If we the people means anything, where exactly do we sign to revoke this automated presidency? The Constitution has an auto pen problem.
If you look at the border and crime and Afghanistan and 2 theater wars and the hyperinflation and the $7 trillion that he borrowed, was that the reason why? Or were they just incompetent? They just didn't know. They were just, I don't know, who are we going to nominate? Oh, Joe's. They didn't think he was that bad. But please don't tell us that you covered it up and think that's a confession sufficient for the American. Tell us why you did it.
Here's Victor's takeaway. When presidential authority gets outsourced to a machine, the catastrophic policies, border collapse, crime waves, foreign disasters get outsourced to you. Obama's third-term fantasy became America's constitutional nightmare. If an auto pen can launch wars, who's accountable when those wars go sideways?
We heard about the moral responsibilities of a staffer. How about an elected senator who knows damn well that if we get into a war and Iran is preparing to fire a nuclear weapon at the United States, that the commander-in-chief is busy playing with his jello and is not competent to defend ourselves? And every member of the cabinet, the chief of staff, the press secretary, and the members of Congress who lied about this on a daily basis with the press's complicity, they are all responsible for subverting democracy.
If you found this breakdown helpful, hit that like button so more people see it. And if you want more sharp takes on global power plays, go ahead and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.